And we welcome you into the Pride Pregame Show on the Greensboro College Sports Network, and we're getting ready for a little bit of women's basketball. It's been a while before we've had a home game here for Aaron Fernandez and company. He's Stephen Whitenhouse. I'm Kendrick Fruits, and we're excited you're here with us on this Monday evening. Greensboro College taking on Methodist after a week last week that saw them fall on the road to Southern Virginia on, was it Tuesday? Then they took down Salem on Saturday. So, you know, it's kind of an interesting situation. They've been down on the numbers again, Stephen, in terms of roster. But once again, and this time in the form of Lindsey Redmond, it's somebody else stepping up and having a big game.
I mean, what a massive performance from Lindsey Redmond. Without her, they don't win that game on Saturday against Salem. And Lindsey, you know, we've talked with Coach Fern, and I'm sure, you know, you'll ask about her to him later on in our pregame show. But, you know, a player that works really hard. She's in the gym. She's improved throughout the year. And to see her have a performance like that was really big. And that was a big win because, you know, you're looking at the seeding in the USA South and trying to secure a spot in the tournament. You got to beat, you know, a team like Salem that, you know, is below you in the standings. So Lindsey, you know, coming up with an MVP performance. But we also can't forget about Kinsley Stewart, who scored 16 as well. So a good road win. You didn't have Tatum Bradford either. So it was a good road win, and now they'll get ready for tonight.
And, you know, it's interesting because you talk about, obviously, your scorers, Redmond, Stewart. Somebody who's kind of just been quietly doing their job this year has been Taya Simpkins, too. You want to talk about somebody who's, you know, good for 6-7 points a night, 6-7 rebounds, 6-7 assists, something like that. That's a lot of 6-7. Didn't do that on purpose, but just talking about the fact that, you know, up and down the stat sheet, she's contributing, but she's not necessarily jumping out as far as being dominant in one area or another. And that's the thing. You need kind of glue players like that who can do everything on the floor, and that's why she's so valuable to this team.
Well, she's reliable. She's durable. You know, last year she set the minutes record.
Yeah.
So she's somebody that you can just rely on for really anything. And, you know, the thing about this year is she's not been relied on as much from a scoring standpoint simply because we have more scorers.
Right.
And so, you know, she's been, you know, really just a great member of the Pride, you know, these first couple of years. Defensively, offensively, being able to be on the floor, you know, not being injured very much. So she's just been a great, you know, member of the team, and Coach Fernandez is, you know, going to continue to rely on her. And not only that, I mean, she's mature, she's a good leader, and so she's been a really valuable piece.
You know, something you mentioned 2 questions ago was talking about taking down a team that you were ahead of in the standings in Salem. You look at Methodist tonight, ahead of Greensboro in the standings, but you think back to the game in Fayetteville a couple of weeks ago, a game that Greensboro, let's face it, probably should have come away with a win in that game. And so I think tonight, one of the big messages is just, hey, we've got to get the job done. This is a team that we match up pretty well against if we're healthy. And we'll ask Coach Fern about the health standpoint here in a little bit. But if we're healthy, if we've got, you know, all the bullets in the chamber, so to speak, you know, this is a matchup that we like our chances in.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that, you know, they lost that game against Methodist early on because they did have a pretty big lead in that game. And unfortunately, that fourth quarter, that, you know, things just didn't go their way. But the thing is, they have to know that they can beat them. And what I would hope happens is, you know, they come out motivated and ready to play all 4 quarters. And I think they will. I think you're going to see, you know, especially if Tatum plays, you know, Tatum, Bradford, Taya, you know, Kinsley, they're going to come out, you know, ready to go and ready to kind of get revenge from that game a couple of weeks ago.
Let me ask you this, and this is something we talked about a little bit in the men's game on Thursday, but on Saturday rather, but it applies to the women's team as well. On Saturday, we joked, is the 3-point shot dead for this team? And all of a sudden, it was raining threes at Haynes Gym against North Carolina Wesleyan on Saturday. Same deal for the women's team. They've been putting up a lot of threes, haven't been connecting on a ton, and all of a sudden, led by Lindsey Redmond, they all of a sudden are sharpshooters from beyond the arc. And so I guess it begs the question, too, tonight, is that something that, as long as you continue to have success, can you start working that into the game plan a little bit more?
Hopefully so, because I think part of what, you know, Coach Fernandez wants to build here is, you know, a team that can make a lot of 3-pointers. They're going to be fast-paced, and they're going to shoot a lot of threes, as we've seen. And so what you hope to see is someone like Lindsey, and of course, you know, Kinsley, Tatum shot it pretty well this year. Just continue to be more consistent because, you know, they're already a pretty high-scoring team, certainly compared to last year. And so if you can get more consistency from beyond the arc from even just, 2 to 3 players.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily have to be 4 or 5, players, shooting the three very well. If you can just have, Lindsey, Tatum, and Kinsley, if they're hitting, 4 or 5 threes for the game, that's going to be tough to beat. So you hope so. And I think, after last game, hopefully that gives them confidence that they can hit a lot of threes.
Looking at the final 6 games of the schedule this year, Greensboro currently sitting in the number 7 spot. They're 3 games ahead of the number 9 team, which is the first team out of the tournament. What is safe here for Greensboro? I was doing some of the math this morning. They're 4-8 in conference play. I think if you finish the year 7-11 in conference, which means splitting your last 6 games, going 3-3, that puts you in a pretty good spot, especially if 2 of those wins come against Meredith, who you've already beat once, and Salem, who you've already beat once. That gives you the tiebreaker over both of them. You've already got the tiebreaker over number 8, Mary Baldwin. So, and there are some tough matchups coming up. Brevard's still on the schedule for them, just as example. But I think if you split your last 6, you're in a good spot.
Sure, and I think, ultimately from a coach standpoint, you're just taking it one game at a time. But if you're looking at it from our standpoint, looking at the seeding,
you get the scoreboard watch.
That's right. I think 3-3 is certainly achievable because you also have William Peace, who you've beaten before. Again, that doesn't guarantee you're going to beat him again, but you look at the bottom half of the conference right now, and you say, I don't see any reason why we can't take care of business with those games, and therefore, earn your way into the conference tournament. What you don't want to do is fall and then have to hope that others lose. And so if they take care of the business that they should take care of, I think they're going to be fine.
Well, we'll hear from Coach Fernandez and how they plan to take care of business tonight against Methodist. That's all coming up on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Continuing on with our Pride pregame show, I'm joined now by head coach Aaron Fernandez. Feels like it's been a while since we've done one of these. But first off, just kind of walk us through last week, a loss on the road against SVU, and then a win against Salem on Saturday.
Yeah, the loss to SVU, again, we talked about it the first time we played them. It's just they're the cream of the crop, right? I think they've lost 1 conference game now in about 3 seasons, it feels like. So, again, we just use that as an opportunity to try to get better and to help our young kids see what we're trying to get to eventually. They're pretty senior heavy and junior heavy. So, it was a good opportunity to just go on the road, a tough environment. I thought we fought all the way to the end, so I was really proud of our effort there. It would have been easy to quit in that game, but we didn't, so I'm really appreciative of that. And then, the win against Salem, a win on the road in a tough environment. That gym is a little bit small. They had a pretty good crowd there, and it was pretty loud in there, so it was good to be able to go on the road. Anytime you can go on the road in the conference and get a win, especially with a young, inexperienced team trying to rebuild, is a good win. So we'll take it.
Talk a little bit about just the resiliency and the finish for the team on Saturday. I know you had a big, was it second quarter, I think, or third quarter, I can't remember which one. Second quarter, yeah.
Points in the second quarter.
Big second quarter, and then Salem kind of came clawing back, but you guys were able to hold them at bay enough to get the job done.
Yeah. I mean, again, part of being an inexperienced team, a young team, is trying to figure out how to be consistent, and we've had stretches where we will be consistent, and then we've had some up and down roller coaster situations. So, they came roaring back in the third quarter, and I thought we did a good job of just trying to settle back in. And then obviously Lindsey Redmond stepped up really big for us and hit some key threes that really got us back in front, and then we never let go from there. So kudos to her for a big game. Yeah,
we're going to talk about a couple players, and we'll just go ahead and start with her. 5 out of 6 from 3, which matches her season total going into that game. And for something, I know you guys shoot a lot of threes. Sometimes the percentage maybe isn't necessarily where you want it to be, but she certainly led the charge on Saturday.
Yeah, and then the thing I always talk about Lindsey is, I mean, if you look at her, she's usually one of the smallest players on the floor. She came from a smaller kind of private school league, so sometimes that jump can be an adjustment. She didn't play very much early in the year at all. But the thing that stuck out that's gotten her an opportunity to play more is that she just cares so much, and that's just such a credit to her. She comes in every day. She does what she's asked. She wants to be better. She wants to be coached, and I'm so proud of how far she's come in this season. And she's such a joy to watch because she just plays so hard all the time. And it was really cool to see her really step up and elevate us to a win on Saturday. So it was really cool.
Next player I wanted to mention, Veshara Ely's had an uptick in her minutes the last couple of games. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen from her.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, she's just, the same kind of one of those kids that just didn't get a lot of opportunities early. Has just stayed consistent with it. Has gotten some extra work as well. So, yeah, we put her in that position, and she's definitely responded. And we're going to need her in some of these games coming up where we've played some. We're going to be playing some opponents with some bigger size. They're going to be bigger than us, and Veshara, even at 5'10", is still one of our bigger players. So we're going to need her to continue to give us those minutes around the basket.
Obviously, I know don't divulge anything you can't divulge, but you've played a lot without Tatum Bradford recently. She's been dealing with some stuff. Where are you from a health standpoint right now?
Yeah, we'll see going into tonight. There'll be some people that are probably game time decisions. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if. I mean, maybe I think Southern Virginia, we were talking before their game last game, they've been lucky in that they've stayed healthy, but I feel like the rest of us all have people that are banged up. Us maybe more than some, but yeah, I'm hoping that we'll at least have 12 available tonight, but obviously we'd love to have 17 or 18 available, but 12 it might be tonight, so.
Thinking back to the first game against Methodist, a game where I feel like it's safe to say I'm sure the team feels like they probably should have won that game against the Monarchs. What can you take from that game to use for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we played well for essentially 3.5 quarters. The fourth quarter was just, it was really, when you go back and watch the film, I mean, they definitely cranked the pressure up on us. But at the end of the day, we still got shots. We still got open looks that we were hitting earlier that we didn't hit late. And again, a young team on the road in a conference game. When you look at when we walk out on the floor, you're going to see the size discrepancy, the athleticism discrepancy between the two teams. So I thought we just did a lot of really good things, and it was really, it was really just the last kind of part of the fourth quarter that we just turned the ball over a little too much, missed some shots we were already hitting. We went cold from the free throw line as well. So, yeah, I think we did a lot of good things, and I think, I think our kids are anxious for an opportunity to try again against Methodist to see if we can get one this time.
I'm going to put words in your mouth here for a minute, so I apologize for that. But assuming that Tatum is one of those game time decisions for later today, obviously she's been one of your best offensive players this year. Do you kind of have to go into a game with two different game plans? This is what happens if she does play. This is what we need to do if she doesn't play?
Yeah, I mean, definitely when she's in the game, you run some stuff for her specifically. You run actions through her specifically because she's got such a high basketball IQ. She can make the right read on some stuff. So sometimes when you have to shuffle lineups around, you got to pick some different people to run stuff through. So yeah, if she's a part of the game plan tonight, we'll see as we get a little bit closer. Then obviously there's different actions that we have just for her to be able to get into. And then if she doesn't play, we'll have to run some different actions for some other people. So.
Last question here for you, Coach. About 6 games left for you in the season, and it's kind of funny where your attentions and our attentions as the media kind of divulge here. We get to scoreboard watch and kind of see what everybody else is doing. I know you guys hate doing that sort of thing. So tell me, with such a young team, how do you keep them focused on, hey, we need to take care of our business here and not worry about what everyone else is doing?
Yeah, we don't ever talk about anything too far ahead. We just focus on the next game. So yeah, we're focused totally on Methodist, and then we do have some tough games coming up, but we haven't even. I mean, we play again on Wednesday. We haven't even talked about Wednesday's game. We don't want to prepare for 2 games, even though it's 2 games in 3 days. We want to prepare for 1 game at a time. So we'll worry about Wednesday's game tomorrow. And then we'll worry about Saturday's game, after Wednesday's game. So yeah, we'll take it one at a time. We're in a good spot right now to be able to get into the tournament. So that's a good place to be. But yeah, we still got to take care of business down the stretch.
Last thing here for you, Methodist, they don't score a ton. They don't give up a ton. What's the game plan?
Yeah, again, this has happened a couple of times this year where it's just a battle of 2 totally different styles of play. Methodist is very much a grind it out, wants to keep it low scoring, wants to really pound the ball inside. We're pretty much the opposite in every respect there. So it'll be, again, whoever can establish their style of play the quickest. I mean, we did that last time for most of the game. It was just, again, one small hiccup that really got us, but we'll look to do that again. We want to get in a run and gun situation. We will try to pack it in a little bit more than maybe we're used to in the half court, see if we can force them to shoot some more threes where they don't shoot as well. But at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to can we play our style? Can we turn them over enough? And then can we not have the stretch where we're not hitting shots, right? I mean, that's what comes down to. You got to be able to hit shots. So hopefully in the home gym, though, it'll be a little bit different.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Well, you see by the logos, it's the matchup of the Lions, the Monarchs, and the Pride, and it's next on the Greensboro College Sports Network. And as we continue on in the pregame show, let's go ahead and take a look at today's starting lineups. First off, for the visiting Methodist Monarchs, number 4, Giovanna Dunlap, a sophomore guard from Albemarle, averaging 4.6 points per game. Freshman forward Taylor Watford from Jamestown, North Carolina, averaging 6.6. Averaging 10 points a game, Kayleen Grulon, the sophomore guard from Brooklyn, New York. Number 14, Jada Richardson, she's a sophomore forward from Charlotte, North Carolina, averaging 9.5. Tori Coleman, number 15, the sophomore forward from Bailey, North Carolina, averaging 2.7. Methodist coached by Cheryl McNair, a graduate of St. Andrews University. As for Greensboro College, starting lineup looks like this. Number 10, Lindsay Redmond, averaging 2.9 points per game. Redmond, the guard, freshman from Kernersville, averaging 14.4 points per game. Kinsley Stewart, freshman guard from Marion, North Carolina, averaging 5.1 points per game. It's sophomore Taya Simpkins, a guard from Wake Forest, North Carolina, averaging 4 points a game. Number 15, Carrie Carr, a freshman forward from Beulahville, North Carolina, and averaging 5.8 points per game. A sophomore forward, Jinx Irvin, from Columbia, South Carolina, by way of Averett University. We'll step aside for the national anthem, and we'll get this one started. It's the Pride and the Monarchs next on the Greensboro College Sports Network. And we welcome you back inside Haynes Gym as we get ready to get this one underway on the Greensboro College Sports Network, as Greensboro women's basketball taking on Methodist today. And we are excited to have you along for the ride. Good evening, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you. And Greensboro College coming in 7-12 on the year, 4-8 in the USA South. Methodist 8-12. They're 7-6 in conference play this year. Greensboro coming off of a win on Saturday against Salem on the road, while Methodist lost at home to Brevard by 31. You talk about the importance of this game, especially for both of these teams, as we kind of get down into the home stretch a little bit. Methodist currently sitting in the number 6 position, 7-6 in conference play. They've got a 2.5 game gap over Greensboro. But the Pride trying to distance themselves over Mary Baldwin, who got thumped by Brevard earlier today. That score was 86-48, I believe, the final score in that one. But again, for both of these teams, really at this point, feeling fairly confident, Methodist for sure, about their postseason aspirations, but everybody's still trying to move up where they can, and opportunities abound for both of these programs going down the stretch run. So again, the lineup for the Monarchs today: Grulon, Richardson, Coleman, Dunlap, and Watford. For Greensboro, it's Redmond, Stewart, Simpkins, Carr, and Irvin. If you listen to the postgame or the pregame show, obviously, Coach Fernandez mentioned names like Tatum Bradford, a game-time decision. Obviously, Tatum not in the lineup. We can tell you, though, she's not been marked inactive, so certainly some optimism that we may get to see one of the other many talented freshmen on this Greensboro team on the floor at some point tonight. Methodist controls the opening tip, and contact in the lane, a foul called as Jada Richardson tries to fire up a shot. Foul's going to be called on Carrie Carr, picking up the first personal and team foul number 1 just 13 seconds in. You look comparatively at these two teams. Obviously, first off, the visual comparison, that is the Greensboro's wearing the white jerseys today with the black numbering and the green trim. Methodist with the green jerseys and we'll call the goldenrod yellow numbering and trim. One free throw good for Richardson. Greensboro in the front court. Pride wanting to go fast, as is their MO. Redmond up top to Simpkins. Now back to Redmond. Thought about a three. Now tries to go in to Carrie Carr. Jump ball called. Possession favoring the Pride. Lindsey Redmond coming off of a career day for her in which she nailed 15 points, including 5 out of 6 from three-point range. She had only hit 5 threes coming into the game on Saturday, and so she doubled her season total in one afternoon's work against Salem. Turnover there. Irvin has it taken away by Dunlap. Methodist looking to build off a 1-0 advantage. Dunlap picks up the dribble, pass down to Richardson up at the top. Now throws it far side to Grulon, now back up top. Watford slings it over to Grulon, tees up a three. That is no good. Jenks Irvin soars for the rebound. Simpkins up ahead to Redmond. Redmond back to Simpkins. Greensboro working the perimeter, throws it across to Stewart. Thought about a three, now works up top. Stewart, spin move inside. She gets past the free throw line. She's called for a foul and will now visit the free throw line. Foul going to be called on Taylor Watford, her first personal and team foul number 1. And look at that, first substitution for Greensboro, including Tatum Bradford, as well as Ari Ingram, who's been shooting very well recently. Ruano and Lakey also in for the Pride. First free throw from Kinsley Stewart, good, and Greensboro's tied it at 1. Tatum Bradford playing in her first game since the Mary Baldwin contest on the 22nd of January. She's missed the last 3. Second free throw, rattling and good. One of the things, though, obviously, as you see, Bradford's right pinky heavily bandaged, and I think safe to say probably under some sort of restriction today, but good to see her out there at all. Is that one in the lane? No good. Bradford trying to grab the rebound. She does. And the Pride running the other way with a 2-1 advantage. We are 8:40 left to go in the first quarter. Bradford dribbling with the right hand, loses the handle, slings it back up top to Hairston. Now to Ruano, 3-ball, and that's no good. She's fouled, though, and Brianna Ruano will go to the line. 3-point shooting for Greensboro, shooting only 24% this year. Another area of the Pride struggle is at the stripe. They are 57% from the free throw line. Ruano this year is 33% from the line, 8 of 24. First free throw good, and Greensboro leads 3-1. All 3 of the Pride's points have been via free throws today. About a minute and a half gone. Second free throw, rattling around, no good. So already a good foul for Methodist. Taken away 1 point from Ruano. She hits the third, though. So she sandwiches the miss with a pair of makes. Greensboro leads 4-1, and they employ the press. Coleman up ahead, quick passing in the lane. That one by Grulon, no good. Ari Ingram with the board. Ingram racing into the front court, lost the handle of it for a moment, hands off to Hairston. Hairston up top to Ruano on the logo. Had an open Ingram, didn't see her. Ruano pulls up straight on three. That's no good off the back iron. Hairston, though, offensive board. Now back out to Ruano. Ruano in the right wing. She drives, kicks it out to Hairston. Throw a little off target. Hairston pulls up for three anyways. Too strong. And the rebound taken by Watford. Another press for the Pride. Richardson now streaking into the right side of the lane, trying to get around Ruano. And Richardson has little trouble with the layup there, make it 4-3. Pride wanting to answer quickly. Hairston, she'll pull up three ball. That's no good. Bradford trying to grab the rebound out of bounds off of Bradford's fingertips, and it will be Methodist ball. And again, the full line substitutions for the Pride. Oh no, they're going to say it was off of Methodist fingers. Simpkins with the inbound here to Stewart. Stewart had it, lost it, was taken away by Dunlap. Now a whistle called, and it will be on Kinsley Stewart. Stewart picks up her first personal team foul, number 2. There are now 2 per side. Methodist on the year. Struggled a little bit offensively at times, averaging just 56 points per game. But it's a stingy Monarch defense, giving up just 61 points per game. Bounce pass down low to Richardson at the free throw line, throws it across to Grulon. Now back down to Richardson inside, out to Grulon, corner 3. That's in and out, and Jenks Irvin with the rebound. That'll be rebound number 2 for Irvin. Simpkins has a wide open Stewart, instead kicks it to Redmond. Redmond 3 ball, give it to her! Lindsay Redmond, good and 1. Foul's going to be called, I believe, on number 11, Kaylin Grulon. So the second time today the Pride have been fouled in the act of a three-point shot. This time Redmond gets it to go, coming off that career-high performance of 15 points on Saturday. She's got 3 and a chance to make it 4. Redmond's free throw in and out, no good, but the rebound tipped by Irvin, back out to Redmond. She works through a double team, tries to get it to Simpkins, she does. So Greensboro resets to Irvin at the free throw line, trying to back down her defender. She's picked up her dribble, needs help, sends it out to Stewart. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Stewart kicks it out to Simpkins. Simpkins, right-hand side of the lane, goes up. She's fouled and 1. Taya Simpkins through contact, and a big high five there between Simpkins and Stewart with the foul going on Coleman. So that is team foul number 4. And looks like Watford hobbling a little bit there. There's some contact. Part of that sandwich that Taya Simpkins worked through. So she's helped to the bench. Obviously hope that she is okay, and hopefully we see her again in the contest here a little bit later. Here comes the free throw from Simpkins. 3-point play does not come to fruition for the Pride. Rebound by Richardson. She ran it down to the far corner. Crosses the timeline over to Dunlap. Dunlap working around a triple team up top again to Richardson. Slinging around the corner this time, it's Gladden who's checked into the game. Here's a long 2, good. Excuse me, that's Tori Coleman for 2. It's 9-5 Greensboro. Simpkins, Stewart, 3. Off the mark, rebound there by Richardson. Richardson's got 2 rebounds today. Long feed up ahead to Dunlap. Dunlap inside the arc. Pulls up and the jumper good. Mid-range jumper looking good for the Monarchs in the early going. It's 9-7. 6 minutes to go first quarter. Stewart in the lane. Kicks it out to Redmond. Wide open 3 ball. Give it to her. Lindsay Redmond has now hit 7 threes in the last game and a quarter. Really game and a half quarter. Even McRae with it. She's picked up the dribble. Back out to Dunlap. Now getting it down low to McRae. Poked away by Irvin. Turnover goes to Carr. Now to Simpkins. Simpkins on the run. Has an open Stewart. Throw a little bit off of the mark, but Kinsley Stewart recovers on the baseline to Simpkins. 3 ball. That's no good off the back iron, and McRae will soar for the board. Greensboro trying to bother her there, and they do to the point of grabbing a foul, and it's going to be Simpkins Taya Simpkins going to pick up her first personal, team foul number 3 with 5:28 to go. First quarter, Pride's lead is 5. Men's basketball also in action today, taking on William Peace later tonight. That is a 7 o'clock start time. So we'll give you updates of that most likely during the second half of our game. Up ahead comes Dunlap. Throws this into the lane, now kicks it over to Gladden. Shot's no good. Rebound, Ari Ingram now to Ruano running up ahead. Ruano kicks it to Lakey. Lakey thought about a 3, but the defense converged on her in a hurry. Ruano's picked up her dribble now to Lakey. Corner 3, that's too strong, no good. Ingram soars offensive board. The turnaround, the put back in the bucket. 14-7 Greensboro lead. Gladden trying to get around Tatum Bradford. Gets through, works in on Ruano. Nice pass underneath the basket. Shot's no good, though. And the second putback is also no good by Jahari Jacobs. And Ruano with the board running the other way. Ruano in the lane. Nice kick to Ingram. Baseline jumper. In and out and back in. Ari Ingram getting a nice bounce there. She's got 4 points. Greensboro's press bothering Gladden. Turnover, Ingram. Ingram in the lane for 2 more. There's a whistle. Timeout taken by Methodist. Greensboro races out to an 18-7 lead. That'll take us to our media timeout. Greensboro leading at 18-7. 4:18 to go in the quarter on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
Taking an early peek at some of the numbers here today. Greensboro out rebounding Methodist 10-5. Pride are shooting 50% from the floor, 2 of 8 from 3, and 4 of 7 from the line. Methodist 3 of 10 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3, 1 of 2 from the line. Greensboro leading at 18-7. Elsewhere in the USA South today, Mary Baldwin fell to Brevard 86-48, the final score. In that one, it's Greensboro again. The defense with the press, but getting around it is Dunlap. Dunlap kicking it over to McRae, trying to go up top. Slings it over to the far side. Dunlap passes down low, trying to back down her defender as Jacobs. Shot too strong. Stewart with the rebound. Long pass up ahead, intended for Simpkins, or intended for Taya Phelps, rather, is intercepted. To McRae up top to Coleman. Coleman thought about the pass, thought better of it, then eventually gets the pass off. Good contested shot there for Gladden, and it's 18-9. Stewart to Irvin. Irvin back to Stewart. 3 ball from the right corner. That's in. Give it to her. From the right wing, Kinsley Stewart has 5, 21-9. Coleman to Dunlap. Dunlap just inside the arc in the left corner. Gives it up top now to Coleman. Had it, lost it, goes out of bounds. Greensboro ball. (21-9), 3:11 to play in the first quarter. And, you know, kind of one of the things that Greensboro was talking about, or one of the things that Coach Fernandez was talking about, he said, you know, we got off to a fast start the last time against Methodist, but we didn't finish. Bradford has her shot blocked. Goes down to the ground. McRae with the block. Bradford gets back up. And Dunlap slings this one up ahead to Gladden. Gladden in the lane, nice stutter step, shot good, 21-11. He said, we know we're going to get off to a fast start. The thing is, can we finish? Right now, everything according to the script for the Pride. Ruano to Bradford. Bradford straight on 3-ball, off the front iron, no good. Bradford still trying to get a little bit of air in her tires as she gets used to getting back into the flow of this speedy offense. Bradford again with it. They're going to keep feeding her the ball because eventually Tatum's going to get hot, and she's going to be a nuisance for opposing defenders. 3-ball from Ruano, no good. Offensive board, though, Hairston. Hairston in the lane. McRae comes up on her, has to throw it out to Bradford. Kicks it over to Lakey. Lakey 3-ball, that's no good off the back iron. McRae will outreach Ruano for the rebound. Throws this one up ahead to McRae. She's got a teammate open underneath the basket. Bradford with a block there on Jacobs, but Jacobs offensive board and the putback. 21-13. 1:48 to go first quarter. Bradford working to her right. Picks it up, goes to Hairston. Hairston, there's a 3-ball. That's no good. Kind of got jammed there on the side iron, and here come the Monarchs. That one rolling and taken away by Lakey. Gives it to Ingram. Ingram 3. That dies off the front rim as well. Greensboro, after hitting a couple early threes, have gone cold from beyond the arc. Their lead remains 8 for the time being. A tie-up right in front of the Greensboro College bench. And jump ball will favor the Monarchs. With 1:14 in the first quarter. Well, you talk about the success, comparatively speaking, for Greensboro this year. Hold that thought for a minute. Bounce pass down low from Atterbury to Richardson. Now going to the far side, it's Gladden. Looking back for Richardson, taken away by Irvin. Kinsley Stewart on the run, long feed up ahead to Redmond. Redmond kind of lost the handle of it, just desperation fling back to Stewart. Instead, it's a turnover. Dunlap up ahead, now a nice give, and the layup no good on the far side by Richardson. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Monarchs. Methodist to inbound, it'll be Gladden. Up top to Atterbury. Atterbury bounce pass down low, goes right back to Atterbury. She'll tee up a 3, that's good. Kenya Atterbury, 21-16, 37 seconds left. Simpkins to Irvin. Irvin hands off to Stewart. Deep 3. Oh, that's no good. It was a good looking shot from Stewart. Atterbury with the rebound off the far carom. Gives it over to Dunlap on the far side, passing towards Atterbury in the corner. Now back to Dunlap. Dunlap slings it down low to Richardson. Richardson, turn and shoot. 21-18. A run here for the Monarchs late in the quarter. Long feed up ahead to Stewart. Inside the three-point arc. Spin move in the lane. Slings it up. Shot's no good. And Dunlap with it. Long feed up ahead. Is it too far? No, it's not. Shot clock down to 2. Long pass across to Atterbury. 3. That's no good. And that is the way a chaotic ending of the first quarter comes to a close. Pride had a big lead early. It's just 21-18, 10 minutes in the books on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
Greensboro College Athletics is proud to announce a new sponsorship with Country Barbecue. Country Barbecue has been in business since 1975 and is now a preferred restaurant provider of Greensboro College Athletics. Check them out today, Country Barbecue. That's Country BBQ. 10 minutes in, Greensboro leading at 21-18. Pride shot 31% from the floor in the first quarter. Methodist shot 42%. Greensboro led by both Ari Ingram and Lindsey Redmond, 6 points each, 5 points for Jada Richardson leading the Monarchs. Greensboro will open quarter number 2 with possession and a 3-point advantage. Largest lead was 12. They'll try to build some of that back. Ingram trying to get open. Now spinning around Atterbury. Ingram in the lane, slings it up. She goes down hard. Shot's no good. Rebound going the other way. It's Jacobs now to Atterbury. Atterbury in the lane. Back up top now to Dunlap. Dunlap down to Richardson. Richardson out to Jacobs. Jacobs long two. Shot's no good. Loose ball on the baseline. And Bradford snags it, sends it to Lakey. Lakey crosses the timeline. Long feed to Ari Ingram. Ingram kicks it out to Ruano. Thought about a three. Now thinks better of it. Gives it to Lakey. Lakey for three. That's strong off the back iron. No good. Rebound taken by Jacobs. Dunlap, long heave up ahead to Atterbury, and she'll kick it back out to Coleman. Ball goes out of bounds, and it stays with Methodist as the Pride will make some substitutions. Ari Ingram goes off holding that left shoulder. Not what the Pride want to see, as it's been a back and forth this year to keep healthy bodies on the floor for the Pride. Inbounds to Elise Roberts. Now to Atterbury. Atterbury back up top to Roberts. Roberts working on Stewart and Redmond. Now slings it to Atterbury for three. And that's good. Give it to her. We're tied. Atterbury has 6 points, and it's 21 all. Simpkins driving right-hand side. Whistle before the shot. There's a foul coming. And it's going to be on number 10, Corin Gladden. That will be her second personal. And team foul number 1 of the second quarter. Greensboro inbounds. Stewart three ball. That's no good. Ball bouncing high off the iron and taken the other way by Gladden. Gladden to Jacobs up ahead to Roberts. Too strong on the layup. Irvin looked like she was hacked on the rebound attempt. Goes to Simpkins. And now Stewart with the basketball up top. Stewart in the left wing. Working around Jacobs. Stewart in the lane, too strong. Rebound the other way to Jada Richardson. Richardson to Gladden. Atterbury bounce pass up top. That's Gladden. Now slings it over to Roberts. Roberts for three. That one no good. Irvin with the board. Stewart working right through the middle of the lane. Lost the handle. Tripped and just kind of slung it backwards. Taken away by Jacobs. That's going to be Greensboro's third turnover of the game. Long feed up ahead to Atterbury. Now up top off the fingertips of Gladden, and that's a turnover. Stewart to Simpkins. Simpkins not expecting that pass. Now sends it right back to Stewart. Stewart pass in the lane. Nobody there guarding Jinx Irvin. She'll lay it in easily. Greensboro goes back up top, 23-21. Atterbury works around Richardson. Carr got a hand on that ball. Now slings it up to Gladden, and Gladden couldn't handle the pass. Carr with the takeaway. Simpkins on the run. Stops up top, now driving left-hand side. Simpkins lays it in. Taya Simpkins, she's got 4 points. 25-21. Almost a turnover there. Lindsey Redmond read that pass perfectly, but she slipped on the baseline, and it's going to go out of bounds and stays with the Monarchs. 25-21 your score, 6:58 to go. Substitutions coming for Methodist. And coming into inbound will be Tori Coleman. Coleman slings this one over to Grulon. Grulon long feed over to Roberts. Roberts didn't catch the pass cleanly. Richardson with the steal, gives it to Ingram, but Ingram tips it right back to Roberts, who slings it up to Grulon. Kayleen Grulon bounce pass, far side of the lane and laid in. by Jada Richardson, 25-23. Jada Hairston gives it to Ruano. Brianna Ruano, right side of the lane, kicks it out to Bradford. Bradford, 3-ball. Give it to her, Tatum Bradford. Welcome back, Tatum. Greensboro goes up 5. Jacobs with it. Now on the baseline, floating that in is Coleman. Shot's no good. Goes up over Ruano for the rebound. Had it, lost it, ends up in the hands of Hairston, though. Hairston gives it to Ruano, thought about a 3, now goes to the free throw line, kicks it out to Bradford. Bradford, another 3-ball, that one's no good. Loose ball taken by Roberts up the far side. And she's bumped there by Ari Ingram. Ingram will pick up her first personal foul. And team foul number 1. Check that team foul, should be number 2. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Passed up ahead to Grulon. Crosses the timeline. Right-hand side of the lane and travel before she could get the pass off to Jahari Jacobs. Another round of substitutions coming here for Greensboro College. Up by 5. They've outscored Methodist just 7-5 here in the second quarter. Taya Phelps to Taya Simpkins, and Simpkins brings it up. Simpkins driving left side of the lane, kicks it out to Redmond. Redmond working her way towards the logo, now goes to the far corner to Carrie Carr. Now up top to Simpkins, shot clock to 15. That's deep for this offense, who likes to get the ball off very quickly. Stewart's pass to Simpkins, tipped, goes across the timeline, but again, because it's tipped, Greensboro can still work. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and Simpkins' shot was no good. Was blocked, went to Carr, and she couldn't get the shot off in time. So a shot clock violation. Greensboro to press. Stewart gets her hands on it and the interception. Kinsley Stewart in the lane, goes up with it. She's fouled. Shot's no good. Well, when Kinsley Stewart's able to get to the line, this Greensboro offense is firing on all cylinders. Kinsley 2 of 2 today from the stripe. And the freshman's free throw no good. One of the things about a offense that works as quickly as this one does, with the substitutions this one does, the second free throw no good, so an empty trip there for Stewart, is the fact that really a lot of times your offensive production is spread out amongst a lot of players, and that is the case on this team as Richardson travels along the far sideline. 5:10 to go in the half. Hairston running point for Greensboro. Now tees up a 3. Give it to her. Jada Hairston gets in the score column. Greensboro's lead is 8, 31-23. A whistle on the far sideline, and it's going to be Brianna Ruano, and she does not care for that call. It's evident by the body language there, but Brianna's going to pick up what will be her first personal, team foul number 3. And that'll take us to the under 5 timeout. 31-23 your score. Greensboro leading it here over Methodist on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
So before we get started, 3 items of business here. First off, Greensboro College excited to announce a new partnership with Hotel Denham, conveniently located in the heart of Midtown Greensboro at 1517 Westover Terrace. Hotel Denham offers a unique lifestyle experience while visiting the Piedmont Triad region. With a hip and stylish vibe, you will find that Hotel Denham offers a unique experience unmatched in Greensboro. So for more information, visit their website at www.hoteldenhamgso.com. Second item of business is that I can't read, which is no surprise for any of you that have hung around with us long enough as Methodist works inside. And that shot, I think, partially blocked there by Ingram. It was Coleman's shot. Ingram up ahead to Lakey. Will pay off the I can't read in a minute. 3 ball coming from Hairston. Give it to her. Jada Hairston has 6. 34-23. Loose ball underneath the basket. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Methodist ball. I owe an apology to Elise Robbins. I misread her name on the roster earlier and called her the wrong name. And apologies to Elise. But it's Elise Robbins, the junior guard from Kernersville, North Carolina. Dunlap, long feed up ahead to Richardson. Nobody saw Jada up ahead. And an easy layup behind the Greensboro defense makes it 34-25. Bradford, nice pass. No-look pass in the lane to Ruano. Rebound, or layup too strong, rather. Grulon way up ahead, and again, uncontested the layup from Richardson. Greensboro wanting to run the other way, though. Here comes Hairston, 34-27. Hairston slings it to Bradford. Bradford thought about a 3 on Richardson, decides not to. Ruano works back up top now to Lakey. Lakey picks up the dribble. Now to Ruano, now to Ingram up top. Shot clock down to 11. Ingram, right-hand side of the lane, looking for a cutting Bradford. Bradford slings it out to Hairston. Another 3 ball. That one rattles home. Give it to her, Jada Hairston. 3 threes here in quarter number 2. It's a 10-point lead for Greensboro College. Long feed up ahead to McRae. Instead of taking the shot, she'll dump it off to Grulon. Shot's no good. McRae, though, offensive board. She'll lay it in. Ruano wanting to run. Goes to the right-hand side of the lane, picks up the dribble, looking to bounce pass it into Ingram. Instead finds Richardson. Long feed up ahead to Grulon, and again, nobody home for the Pride. Methodist continues just to have wide-open looks on quick turnovers. Greensboro College not getting back in transition. As we know from the style of offense or style of game that they want to play, Coach Fernandez says that will happen in this style from time to time. 3 ball, Bradford, no good, off the back iron. Loose ball off to the left of the lane. There's a tie-up. Ball goes to Methodist, I believe. And it will be Monarch ball. 2:45 to play. Third item of business after the live read and the admission of my own not being able to read correctly. It is crossover season. We're excited to get spring sports started here at Greensboro College, and because of that, we're going to have a spring preview coming up at halftime. I had a chance to talk with Mallory Zalowski, the women's lacrosse coach here at Greensboro College, and we'll hear what she had to say ahead of this 2026 campaign. So that's coming up at halftime. We'll also preview softball, baseball, and men's lacrosse over the course of the week as well. So hope you join us for that here on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Rulon's 3 is short and goes out of bounds off of the hands of Tori Coleman. And it's Greensboro ball, 2:28 to play. Simpkins using a pick from Carr. Works left to right, picks up the dribble to Irvin up top. Jinx Irvin, right side of the lane, kicks it out to Simpkins. Thought about a 3, now drives instead, kicks it out to Redmond. Lindsey Redmond, wide open 3, in and out, and no good. Eva McRae on the rebound and poked out of bounds by Simpkins. And it will be Methodist ball, 2:06 to go. Again, Greensboro cannot lose or gain ground today in terms of actually moving up or down the standings, as Elise Robbins slings it up ahead to McRae. Now back to Robbins. Robbins for 3. That was a knuckleball. Did not spin once on its way to the basket. Shot no good. Greensboro on the run. Simpkins right-hand side of the lane. Swatted by McRae. Eva McRae sent that one right back at Simpkins and goes out of bounds. It'll be Greensboro ball with the $1:47 to go. Yeah, Greensboro kind of sitting in a bit of a bubble in the number 7 spot. Remember, the top 8 will make the tournament. Greensboro 3 spots ahead of number 9. Bradford almost a turnover, but Ruano there to save it. Slings this one to Hairston. Hairston thought about going to Phelps. Instead goes Ruano deep 3. That's no good, off the side of the backboard. And there's a foul called. It's going to be Ari Ingram on Eva McRae. Ari will pick up her 3rd foul. 1:34 to go, and Greensboro's lead is 6. It was 3 at the end of the first quarter, and in fact, it was tied early in the second quarter. Coleman looking for Robbins. Robbins trying to work on Phelps, and at least Robbins showing the speed, getting up into the front court to McRae. McRae trying to go down low. Bradford tips it to Ruano, and it's another turnover force. That is the 12th turnover by the Monarchs today. Ruano, right-hand side, now gives it to Hairston. Hairston gets a little space, tees up from 3. That shot no good. Soaring for the board there is Richardson. Jada Richardson throws it near side to Corinne Gladden. And shot no good there from the free throw line. Tatum Bradford trying to work to the right-hand side, gives it to Harrison, slings it to Ruano, thought about a 3, and will work right-hand side of the lane. Shot good in 1. Ruano with a chance for a 3-point play. She's got 4 points, and she's 2 of 3 from the stripe. 46 seconds to go, and Greensboro with a chance to go up 9 with a good free throw here. Jada Richardson leading Methodist with 11 points. Greensboro led by Hairston's 9. Ruano's free throw off the back iron, no good. And Richardson with another rebound. That's her 5th. And now racing up the far sideline is Gladden, who slings it over to Coleman. Coleman's 3 misses everything, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Greensboro ball. Jada Richardson really come on recently. It's been up and down for Jada, but the last 4 games, 4 points, 25 points, 5 points, and 23 points, and she's on her way to another 20-plus point effort today for the Monarchs. Stewart's picked up her dribble, kicks it over to Redmond. Redmond in the left wing. She's got it poked away. Corinne Gladden goes up strong and 1. Now Gladden a chance to answer the 3-point play the other way with just 10 seconds left, and Taya Simpkins is going to pick up her 2nd personal foul. So Gladden is a 73% shooter from the free throw line. Free throw no good. Loose ball, though, and Richardson with the putback, no good. But another opportunity. Robbins, long 2 is good, had her toes over the line, and that is how the first half will come to an end. 39-35, the score in favor of Greensboro, a game that saw a lot of streaks both ways. The Pride with a 4-point lead. Now, we told you we got some special content here for you at halftime. Here is our preseason preview with women's lacrosse coach Mallory Zalowski as they get ready for their season opener on Thursday. And we welcome you into the 2026 Women's Lacrosse Preview here at Greensboro College. I'm joined now by head coach Mallory Zalowski. And Coach, tell me a little bit really quickly before we look into this year. Just kind of give me your quick recap of last year.
Yeah, overall, I'd say it was a pretty successful season. Finished sixth in the conference, 5 wins overall, which is exciting. A couple of really big ones at that, so that's super exciting. I think we had a few kind of frustrating games that felt like at least should have gone better than they did. So kind of looking forward, looking to kind of make up for that this year. But overall, a pretty successful season. Pretty happy with how we finished things. I think there were a lot of hurdles that we overcame, a lot of learning. We had a very young team last year. And so I think, we came together, but we had some inconsistencies because we were a little younger. But hopefully coming back with a little more experience under our belt, working together a little longer. But overall, pretty happy with how we finished last year.
We'll break down this roster a little bit, but the first thing that jumps out to me, and I think anybody that followed you guys last year, you noticed 2 things. Obviously, no Rosanna this year, at least on the field. You've got her on the sidelines, but you lose one of your big scorers from the last couple of years, but also Brinley's back this year, and you want to talk about an incredible freshman campaign. So tell me a little bit about kind of how you expect your offense this year. I assume it flows through Brinley.
Yes, yeah. Bryn will be a big part of it. We also have a couple incoming freshmen. Super excited to get them in. I think there's some firepower to be had there. And even after just a few practices so far this spring, along with this fall, it's clear that there's going to be a lot of cohesion there, working together. And I think it gives us a chance to have some of our younger and or newer players kind of step up to the plate. I think Kiera Fenyo has the ability to really kind of start to light things up. I see big things coming from Kenzie Helton. They have put in a ton of work in the off season. So them combined with Brinley and then also KP, I think they've got a lot of chemistry already built up just from this fall. And so definitely looking to work together, looking to kind of build off of that. And one thing that we kind of talked about last year was, we really succeed as a team when we work together on offense. So a lot of times if we're looking to just drive, it's not going very well for us. And so being able to see those feeds, so whether it's a drive off Brinley and she's seeing that feed, or driving elsewhere and then making that cut, seeing that inside, we're really much more successful when we have a lot of the assists. And I think we saw that in the games last spring when we worked together as a team.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about the offense as a whole here in just a minute, but one last question on Brinley before we move off of that. Yeah. How can she build off of what was already an incredible first year? What's the next step for her?
Yeah, part of what we were just talking about in terms of working with her teammates. She obviously is a very strong driver, very strong scorer. But adding, a few more tools to her belt in terms of different shot selections, that type of thing, as well as, looking to work with her teammates a little bit more, getting a little more shifty and creative. Rosanna and I were literally talking about that this morning. And so just, building off of that, obviously there's a lot of skill there, a lot of lacrosse IQ. Mm-hmm. And so building off that, but allowing for a little bit more creativity and flow, I think will help big time too.
Before I came here to Greensboro College, I worked in the studios at Learfield, and one of the teams I worked with was the men's lacrosse team at Syracuse, and they had a big scorer, Joey Spallina, that took away a lot of the defense's attention and opened things up offensively for everyone else. Obviously, everybody knows Bryn, and they're going to be focused on her. How does that open up the offense for your other scorers?
Oh, I think that's huge. I think, she definitely can pull a lot of attention. And like I mentioned, I think that opens up a lot of opportunities for like Kiera and KP and Kenzie and some of our other goal scorers to be able to get those opportunities to drive to goal while teams kind of pick up on Bryn. And I think, we've got Genesis coming back. We've got a lot of midfield kind of players this year, which is super exciting. And so those are all definitely big pieces of it. And I think, having defense be distracted with Bryn definitely helps us open up other people and give us different options.
Speaking of defense, how are you feeling about the way that your back line's shaping up and your goalkeepers right now?
Yeah, on the goalie side, things are looking great. We've got 3 goalies this year, and all very talented. We put in some work this fall. We had virtual goalie coaching that we were doing throughout this fall, which I think helped immensely for us. And so they're obviously all competing, but working hard with one another. Definitely kind of improvements on that front from last year. Defensively, we've got, a big portion of our defense coming back. So we've got Sid coming back, Bethany, Ashley, big components of our backfield. And to be honest, some of our goalies are likely going to step out and have to play a little defense. So we've been working that a little in practice already. And I think that general sense is already there. DeKayla, she played basketball, so the instincts are already there in terms of the footwork, and it's just kind of developing a little bit more of that sense on the lacrosse field on the defensive side versus being in cage. But super excited because we've got that really solid kind of back row of defense already developed, and we've got Fran with her speed and aggression. So a big portion of our defense is back, and so they've had time to work together. We started adding in a bit of a zone defense this fall, so definitely things are kind of moving and grooving, and I think it gives us the ability to have a couple different looks on the defensive side.
I know, especially at the Division III level for women's lacrosse, sometimes it's difficult to get the numbers that you want as far as your roster and to do your recruiting. Tell me a little bit about kind of your thoughts on your depth coming into this year. I know it's a little lower than what you wanted it to be, but how do you deal with that? How do you manage that? And can you still add here this late into the off season?
Yeah, so definitely a little smaller than we were hoping to be at this point. So the sheer roster size is definitely the biggest concern for us. So trying to make sure we all stay healthy. A big part of that is getting in the weight room, making sure that we're doing, all of our injury prevention workouts, that type of stuff, making sure we're sleeping, eating properly.
Because every college kid does that, right?
Right? Oh, of course. Absolutely. But making sure, we're trying to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. That's definitely a big part of it. We did actually just add Mac Coos, who is one of our cross-country runners. She played a little bit of lacrosse in middle school, and it's coming back. Awesome. She's picking it up so fast. And so, there is the ability to pick up a couple at this point in time. Ideally, it's not where we're at, but that's where we are currently. And so we will make it work. But I think the team has been super welcoming to that. They kind of understand that we need some of that help, and they're willing to support and help and work with them to build and grow. And so, the size of the roster is definitely a bit of the scary part, but doing what we can to make sure that, like I said, we've got a lot of midfield kind of ability. And so being able to kind of rotate those people in and out, whether that's, back on defense or up to offense, give them a little bit of a break, keep those legs a little fresh. You just got to, kind of maneuver things on the field a little bit more and be a little more cognizant of those types of things.
Coach, obviously you brought a lot of playing experience to the head coach position, and now by adding Roe, former player here, brings her onto the coaching staff. Tell me a little bit about what she brings to the table from the coaching side of things as a former player. Yeah,
so one of the things that's huge is she obviously knows this team, right? She played with these girls for the last couple of years, particularly last year with the majority of the team, and was obviously a leader on the field. So she had a lot of the firepower, especially between her and Bryn last year. But she brings that knowledge of the team and their strengths and weaknesses to the coaching side of things. And so that allows us to develop drills to improve the things that we need to get better on, but also like when formulating plays and putting together defensive sets and things like that, it lets us actually be able to tailor it to the different players we have on the field. She also typically was our draw specialist, so she has put a lot of attention and work into developing our draw our drawers. And working on that side of things, which is obviously huge. If you can get that 50-50 ball off, like right off the top, that's a huge component of it. And so she's definitely put a lot of work in on that one. And just from, developing practice plan standpoints, she's got a lot of creativity. So she brings that in. She also, a bit of a film junkie. So, we're adding all kinds of different drills and footwork and like I said, knowing what her teammates and how her previous teammates like play on the field, we can kind of build off of that. And so she kind of brings that to the table, which is pretty awesome.
All right, I'm going to tell you last two questions, but I'm cheating because the first one's a two-parter.
Okay.
We're media. This is how we do things, So the first part is what is something from last year that you want the team to be better at this year? And what is something they did really well last year that you want to continue this year?
Yeah. So something that we occasionally struggled with was kind of getting down on ourselves relatively quickly. If we didn't get off to a good start, it just stayed ugly.
Game over, yeah.
And not being able to kind of fight back through that. And Roseanne and I were just talking about this morning, focusing a little more on the positives. Like even, things are always going to go wrong. We're human. We all make mistakes.
Right.
It happens. But you got to figure out how to not focus on that singular mistake and like let it control the rest of your game, your day, whatever.
Right.
And so kind of focusing more on that positive is definitely something we've got to do a bit better with this year. And I think from a consistency standpoint, that will help us. Something that I do think we did really well was when we worked together on the field, like our midfield transitions into our offense just clicked. And if we can continue to use one another on the field and see those next passes, that's going to be really big for us this year. So we've got to continue to work on that.
And lastly, goals and expectations for this year.
Yeah. Ideally, like we want to break into the top half of our conference. That, finish 5th or above is really what we're looking for right now. Obviously being a smaller roster size, keeping everyone healthy is a big goal of ours, or at least as healthy as we can be, and in, playing physique, and keeping healthy in that way. Those are definitely big ones. I want to see us be able to kind of transition back and forth between a zone and man defense. I think we have teams in our conference that having a man defense is super effective, but there are other teams where using a zone will save us a lot of gas on our defensive side of things. And so being able to switch back and forth is going to be a big part of that. So those are kind of the really big ones in terms of goals. Expectations, like I expect us to come out, with a bit of firepower. We've got some really good non-conference games, I think. February is a little bit of a tougher schedule than we had initially anticipated, with some last-minute game changes. So definitely a little tougher start to the season than we had anticipated, but I think that really will prepare us as we get into March and into our conference play. But I've got expectations of us, kind of coming out stronger than we have been, being able to put points up on the board, and definitely being stronger on the defensive side of things than we have been.
For our viewers out there, our first home game is when?
February 12th.
All right, well, we certainly hope to see you out there at Pride Field. Women's lacrosse getting ready. Should be a fun season. We'll hear from a couple of the players as our preseason preview continues.
And that was our visit a couple of days ago with the women's lacrosse coach, Mallory Zalowski. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with her. Always a treat to spend some time with the coaches. We appreciate them taking the time to talk about their programs and give us a little sneak peek heading into this season. We'll hear from men's lacrosse, baseball, and softball still to come later this week. Getting ready to get the second half underway. Couple quick numbers for you. Greensboro shot 35% from the floor, 26% from three, just 4 of 10 from three-point range. in the first half, as the second half begins with a Grulon layup to make it 39-37. Pride wanting to run the other way. Methodist shot 42% from the floor, just 2 of 8 from 3. As part of something Coach Fernandez said in the pregame show, as Richardson blocks Irvin. He said they wanted to try to force the Monarchs to take a few more threes. Right now, Methodist has not taken the bait. Atterbury with both of the makes for the Monarchs today. Pass down low, and Richardson spins around Carr. Easy for me to say. And we're tied at 39. Monarchs 1 of 3 from the free throw line in the first half. Simpkins with the left hand, now dribbling into the lane. She's got it taken away by Dunlap. Richardson, baseball-style pass is deflected to Irvin, and it's another turnover for Methodist, their 13th turnover of the first half, or of the contest, rather. Stewart shot no good, and almost forcing a turnover at the Greensboro bench, and it'll go out of bounds, I think, last touch by Kinsley Stewart. .8:42 to play. Last touch by the Monarchs there. Hairston, a straight on 3, no good, and a foul. That's going to be the third time today the Pride have been fouled on a 3-point attempt. This will be Giovanna Dunlap. And that will be her first personal, team foul number 1. And Jada Hairston goes to the line for 3. She's got 9 points today thanks to 3 threes. Jada, a 64% free throw shooter here in 25-26. Free throw good. For the freshman from Madison, North Carolina, Greensboro's lead is 1. Monarchs jumped out to a 4-1 start here in the quarter. Hairston hits the second. Third free throw coming. And Hairston drains all 3. Gets her 3 points the hard way, but the Pride with a 3-point lead. Grulon crossing the timeline, slings it to Richardson. Richardson tries to go down low to Coleman. Bothered there by Hairston. Hairston on the takeaway. Ruano, long feed up ahead to Lakey. Camden Lakey will spin out of a drive, gives it to Ruano now. Ruano at the free throw line, picks up her dribble, needs help, cannot find any. There's Ari Ingram up top. Ingram stops, 3. Give it to her, Ari Ingram. Ari's got 9. She was red hot in shoot around today. Was excited to see what she could do, and she is not disappointing. Grulon, nice pass down the baseline. Second pass there from Atterbury, intended for Richardson, goes out of bounds. It's a Methodist turnover, and it's Greensboro ball with 7:56 to go in the third quarter. Monarchs had quickly jumped out ahead, just in terms of the quarter at least, but Greensboro has regained the lead by 6. Simpkins' layup falls short, but she picks up her own miss. Looking for Redmond's going to go out of bounds. And a Greensboro turnover, their 9th. Coleman inbounds to Dunlap. Dunlap slings it to Grulon, now back to Dunlap. Dunlap slicing through the middle of the lane. Shot falls short, but Kinsley Stewart is going to be called for the foul. That will be Kinsley's second personal, team foul number 2, with 2.5 minutes expired here in half number 2. So Dunlap, her first free throw attempts of the evening. First one will bounce off the front of the rim, no good. Giovanna Dunlap, a 72% shooter.
Stewart looking down low to Carr. Carr goes up, but the shot's no good. Picks up her own miss. She's going to be fouled. And Carr goes to the line. And Carrie Carr with her first free throws. Looking for her first point of the game. Free throw is no good. .7:05 to play in the third quarter, and Grulon racing up ahead. Dunlap short off of the front of the iron, gets her own miss and puts it back. .46-41. Now Simpkins, uncontested right-hand side, good. 48-41, and a timeout called. Greensboro with a 7-point lead with 6:37 to go here on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
We didn't have a chance to look around the conference at halftime. Let's go ahead and do that now. Brevard took down Mary Baldwin today, 86-48, the final score. Brevard led by 18 points from Olivia Miller. Tornadoes pick up their 12th win in conference. Meredith and Warren Wilson underway in a non-conference game for the Avenging Angels. North Carolina Wesleyan is on the road at Pfeiffer. They've just started the second half. And Pfeiffer with a 45-37 advantage over the battling Bishops. And just as by way of a reminder, Pfeiffer is a half game behind North Carolina Wesleyan for the number 2 spot in the USA South. Men's hoops today against William Peace has just started. There's a stoppage. I think the clock started late. The shot clock there as Greensboro began their possession. Checking in on what's going on in Raleigh in the early going. Pride with a 2-0 advantage. Will Gray has just opened the scoring for the Green and White. Well, I guess that's misleading. Green and White could reference either the Pacers or the Pride, but visiting Greensboro, a 2-0 advantage. Back here at Haynes Gym, Hairston trying to work her way around a double team. She is bothered by both Richardson and Gladden. Now throwing, looking for Bradford. Richardson the interception, up ahead to Gladden. Gladden having to work on Hairston. Hairston will knock that one out of bounds. Good defense, Jada Hairston. It will remain Methodist ball. But good defense for Greensboro. Inbounds to Richardson, and Richardson immediately fouled by Brianna Ruano, who picks up her second personal and team foul number 3. Gladden looking to inbound, slings this one to Atterbury. Atterbury to Gladden on the baseline. Gladden, couple steps to her left, pulls up. That shot no good, goes out of bounds off of the foot of Jada Richardson, who does not agree that she was the last to touch it. And the officials have since reversed that decision, so Richardson
proved to be correct there as Gladden to inbound again. Slings this one up top and intercepted by Ruano. Brianna Ruano racing into the front court. She's going to take it herself. Now kicks it to Lakey. Corner three. That's no good off the side iron. Loose ball will go to Gladden. Now to Richardson, who picks up her dribble, hands it to Atterbury. Atterbury trying to get around a double team. Gladden to Coleman. Shots no good. Richardson put back no good. Ari Ingram will clean up the board. 5:30 to go, third quarter. Pride lead is 7. Bradford to Ruano. Ruano in the lane. Shot is no good. It's waved off anyways. And a foul called on Kenya Atterbury, which will be her first personal, team foul number 3. 5:28 to go here in quarter number 3. Greensboro 7 wins on the year, 4 conference wins. Both of those marks already better than last year's totals. Stewart's shot too strong on the left baseline. And Gladden up ahead for the Monarchs. Picks up the dribble, goes to Richardson. Quick sling over to Robbins. Now corner 3, Atterbury. That's too strong. Simpkins, long feed to Stewart up ahead. Kinsley Stewart lays it in. A great find from Simpkins and a great finish from Stewart. 50-41. Stewart pokes this one away, goes to Simpkins, back to Stewart. An easy layup for Kinsley. She's got 4 points in about 15 seconds. Greensboro's lead is ballooned to 11. Gladden picks up the dribble. Stewart with a hand on the ball, but gets a lot of Gladden as well. Kinsley will pick up her foul. That will be her third personal, team foul number 3. 4:41 to play. And that will take us to the media break. 4:41 to go, third quarter. Greensboro leading at 52-41 on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
.441 to go. Free throws coming here for the Monarchs. It will be Gladden, I believe, here for the free throws. And Corinne Gladden hits her first. She's got 7 points, 1 of 2 from the line. Methodist is a team 2 out of 6. Second free throw is no good, but chased down by Richardson to Gladden. Now to Grulon. Grulon bothered there by Simpkins. Now to Gladden. Gladden through the middle of the lane. The floater rolls home. Simpkins up ahead to Stewart. Stewart a 3 ball. That's no good. Long carom towards the Greensboro bench. Grulon comes away with it. Grulon to Robbins. Robbins back to Grulon. 4:10 to play. Down low to McRae. In the lane, Richardson had it, lost it, gets it again, throws it to Robbins. Too strong, but Robbins able to get a finger on it, then corral it. Throws it to Simpkins, who pokes it back to Robbins. Shot clock down to 9. A lot of action to still have 10 seconds left on the clock. Grulon pulls up from the corner of the free throw line and drains it. Kayleen Grulon. A smooth stroke there, her 6th point of the game. Greensboro's lead is 6.
Simpkins trying to turn the corner on the right-hand side. Can't do it. Sends it to Phelps. Phelps had it, lost it, and regains back to Simpkins now. Simpkins down to Jinx Irvin. Irvin turns and pulls up and rattles it home. Jinx Irvin has 4 points to go with her 4 boards. Heavy pressure from the Greensboro defense. Gladden up ahead to Richardson, now to Robbins. One step inside the 3-point line, now to McRae, back to Robbins. Trying to go down low to Richardson, backs down, Bechara Ely. And Richardson with her 15th. Again, a 6-point game. 3 minutes to go, quarter number 3. Simpkins out to Stewart. Stewart 3-ball. Kicks off the side, no good. Grulon to Richardson. Richardson to Gladden. Stewart tried to intercept. She missed it. Gladden goes left to right and lays it in. Nice work there from Corinne Gladden. And loose ball on the near sideline. Greensboro's going to be called for an over and back, and it's going to be a turnover. Irvin was trying to let that ball travel a little bit on the ground. It turns out to be a Greensboro turnover. 20 turnovers for the Monarchs, 12 for the Pride. Robbins for 3. That's no good. Offensive putback, though. McRae will clean it up. Eva McRae has 4. It's a 2-point game with 2:22 to go. Greensboro expands the lead to double figures, and Methodist erases it as they have time and time again. There's a 3 from Hairston. Give it to her. Jada Hairston, the Pride needed that. Jada's got 15. It's a 5-point game. Robbins up ahead to Grulon. Grulon trying to go on Bradford. Passes Bradford. Layup too strong. Grulon comes back in bounds, picks up her own miss and lays it in. Heads up there, Kayleen Grulon. Not giving up on that play. And it's a 3-point game again. Ari Ingram to the corner. It's Hairston. Had a wide open Lakey the far side. Now Ingram has an open Ruano if she wants it. Ingram picks up the dribble, goes up top to Lakey. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lakey kicks it to Ruano. Ruano looking for a little separation. Stolen away by Hairston. By Richardson rather. Jada Richardson slings it up. Ruano picks up the foul. Ruano's 3rd personal will send Jada Richardson to the line, where she is 1 of 2 today. Jada Richardson, a 68% free throw shooter, on a Methodist team that is a 62% shooting unit. Couple free throws here. Final 90 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Free throw good from Richardson, and she's got 16. Leading scorer in the game. Actually, it's a couple of Jadas leading the way. Richardson with 16 and Hairston with 15. Simpkins with it the other way. And there's a whistle, and off of somebody's knee there. Off a Methodist defender. It'll be Greensboro ball with 1:17 to go. Actually, it's going to be a foul called on Nylia Bryant, picking up her first. There's Irvin, the jumper no good. McRae with the rebound, and Greensboro trying to press, force a turnover. They do. Phelps to Stewart. Stewart, did it go? Yeah, it did. Give it to her. Kinsley Stewart, a late 3 in the final minute of the 3rd quarter, makes it a 4-point game. Gladden up ahead. Grulon lays it in. Kayleen Grulon has 10. She is the 3rd in double figures for the Monarchs. Stewart thought about a 3. 38 seconds left, looking for Irvin. It's intercepted by Grulon. Kayleen Grulon picks up the dribble at the timeline. Goes to Gladden. Gladden trying to work on Irvin. Contested shot, no good. Loose ball at the baseline. Goes out of bounds. Greensboro ball.
battled there, Jahari Jacobs and Jenks Irvin. But the Pride will get possession, 27.2 left. Shot clock is off. Richardson 15 points, Gladden with 13, Grulon with 10. For the Pride, Hairston with 15 and Stewart with 12. Those are your double-figure scorers as the final seconds of the third quarter bleed off. Greensboro is going to slow this down and play for the final shot. 13 seconds left. Hairston goes right. Nothing developing yet. Trying to work on Grulon. A little bump there. Now to Bradford. 4 on the shot clock, or 4 on the game clock now to Bradford. Bradford 3. That's blocked. And that's how the third quarter will come to an end with a good defensive stand by the Monarchs. It is a 2-point game with 10 minutes to go. Methodist wins quarter number 3. Pride still lead it by 2 on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
Start of the fourth quarter here. Greensboro leading it 60-58. Pride shooting 36% from the floor. Methodist shooting 45%. After, here's the interesting thing. The Monarchs have attempted 19 shots in all 3 quarters. 8 of 19, 8 of 19, and 10 of 19 for the Monarchs today. Greensboro 7 of 22, 7 of 18, and 7 of 17. So, little things like that to keep you entertained, huh? Greensboro will start the fourth quarter with the ball. Stewart with it. Kicks it out to Simpkins in the right corner. Simpkins has it bounced away by Grulon. Goes back to Irvin, and another over and back. The third called on the Pride. Grulon will throw it in to Jacobs, now to Dunlap. Dunlap looking to go to Atterbury in the corner, now to Jacobs on the baseline, trying to go down low, and Richardson lays it in. Jada Richardson has 17, and we're tied at 60, 9.5 to play. Simpkins driving with the right hand, kicks it out to Stewart, fakes a 3. Now Kinsley working her way right-hand side, slings that one up, no good. Richardson soars for the board. Give her a double-double, 17 points and 10 rebounds. Bounce pass to Jacobs, now to Atterbury, far side. Slings it back to Dunlap. She's got Redmond on her. Pass to Irvin, or was intended for Richardson. Irvin on the interception, though. Kinsley Stewart, that one rolls home. Greensboro regains the lead, 62-60. 1 minute gone in the quarter. Atterbury to Dunlap. The Jacobs just past the free throw line. Back out to Dunlap now. Slings it far side, Atterbury. Now trying to go baseline to Grulon. Now down low to Richardson. Richardson high off the glass. Good and one. Wait, I think they might wave that one off. Yeah, so they're going to wave off the basket. Carrie Carr is going to be called for the foul, which is her second personal and team first, and that will send Richardson to the line. So the foul occurring before the shot. They're going to make Jada Richardson earn the 2 points. First free throw missed. Second free throw is good. And it's 61-62. Bradford to Hairston. Hairston sprinting past the timeline. She's got Dunlap on her. Picks up the dribble, needs help, looks for Ari Ingram. Ingram corrals it, sends it right back to Hairston. Underhand toss to Ruano. Ruano trying to back down Grulon. Fakes one way, tries to go the other way. Shot blocked by Grulon and taken by Jacobs. Now back to Grulon, up ahead to Dunlap. Monarchs with a chance to take a lead. Atterbury's pass down low. Jacobs' shot no good. Off of Ingram, actually coming back off of Jacobs, and it'll be Greensboro ball. Methodist last had a lead 1 minute into the third quarter at 41-39. Hairston backing down her two defenders. Grulon, though, forces a turnover, and Kayleen Grulon gives the Monarchs the lead, 63-62. Well, it's a lot like how it happened last time. Greensboro with a couple comfortable leads, and Methodist came charging back, and Greensboro loses in the final stages of that one. And right now the Monarchs looking for same song, second verse. Ingram picks up the dribble. She's tied up, sends it out to Bradford. Bradford for three. That's no good, off the side of the iron. Loose ball on the baseline. Ingram slings it up and in. Ari Ingram. Impressive shot there. And Greensboro is going to follow that up with a timeout. The Pride regained the lead. And we'll step aside on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
.27 to go, and it's anybody's contest here at Haynes Gym. Greensboro leading it 64-63. And it will be Methodist to inbound, Atterbury to Gladden. Gladden going up the far sideline, or the near sideline rather, to McRae. Down low to Dunlap. Dunlap shot no good. And a foul on the rebound. Jacobs is going to be hacked there by Irvin. Jinx Irvin picking up her first personal. It'll be team foul number 2. And Dunlap will go to the line. She's 0 for 2. First free throw good, and we're tied at 64. Second free throw is good as well, and Methodist goes back on top, 65-64. A little bit of confusion between the officials now, but it looks like they got everything squared away. And so we play on, 7:12 on the clock. Simpkins to Stewart. Stewart up front working around Atterbury. Pulls up now from 3. That one no good. McRae with another rebound. McRae has 9 boards. Good pressure from Greensboro, and there's a whistle. And a travel on Gladden, which means Greensboro ball. Checking in on the men's game in William Peace. The Pacers leading the Pride 26-25 with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Will Gray leading Greensboro with 10 points. Ruano looking for Phelps, poked out of bounds there by Jacobs. Jahari Jacobs with the quick hands on defense. Ruano to inbound, looking, surveying the scene, tries to get it to Ingram. Ingram working on McRae. Ari Ingram trying to back it down. Oh, nice move there. Cutting Phelps. The shot's no good. The foul, however, will be charged to Atterbury, which will be her second. And Taya Phelps to the line. Taya this year from the free throw line, as the first one is no good, is 50%. Methodist has won the last 5 contests. Second free throw good, including that 80-76 win back in Fayetteville on the 17th of January. Greensboro's last win in the series came at home on January 21st, 2023. Dunlap slings it over to Gladden in the right wing, now right corner. That's Atterbury now to Dunlap. That one no good. McRae, though, offensive board. Put back no good, but a foul. Foul on Simpkins. Taya's going to be called for her third personal, team foul, number 4. And Eva McRae will go to the free throw line, where she is a 42% shooter. Free throw good. And the Monarchs go on top 66-65, 6.5 to go. McRae's second free throw good, 67-65, tying the Monarchs' largest lead of the game of just 2 points. Doesn't matter what the lead is, matters that you have it. Irvin in the right wing trying to cross up McRae, throws this one down low, looking for Bradford. There's a whistle and a foul called, and that's going to be on Gladden. Corinne Gladden picking up foul number 2. Stewart with it. After the inbound, tries to go towards Bradford. Instead, though, it's going to be taken away by Gladden. There's a whistle and a foul on Kinsley Stewart. Stewart picking up her third personal, team foul number 4. Gladden trying to work through a double team. Or excuse me, that was Dunlap. Then gives it to Gladden. Now to Jacobs. And Jahari Jacobs extends the Monarchs' lead now 69-65. She's got 4 points. Greensboro needs to make something happen. Ari Ingram tries to do it, and she does. Give it to her. Ari Ingram hits from downtown. Greensboro pulls to within 1. And Coach Fernandez will burn the timeout. 5:39 to play, 69-68 your score. And we will step aside here on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. Greensboro College.
Well, buckle up. It should be a fun one here to the end. 5:39 to play. 1 point game. The Monarchs lead the Pride by a single digit. Greensboro men leading William Peace by a similar margin, 27-26. Well, as I say that, it's now 30-26. So thanks to Coach McDuffie and company for ending that talking point. Here we go back at Haynes Gym. Jacobs up top trying to go down low to Richardson. Good defense there by Jenks Irvin to swat that pass away. Here's Simpkins. Taya Simpkins going left, now going right rather, and then left, and then lays it in. Taya Simpkins, 8 points. Greensboro on top by 1. I have a feeling this is not the last time the lead changes hands. Dunlap loses her footing. The ball stays with the Monarchs, though. Gladden's shot no good. Picks up her own miss and then stumbles out of bounds with the ball last touched by Ruano. Grulon checks in. Outerbury comes out for Methodist. Monarchs looking for their 9th win of the year, their 8th win in conference play. And Dunlap, kind of a wild shot there. Didn't hit anything. Greensboro takes it away. Simpkins sprinting into the front court, now backs out of a drive. Now works to the left at the free throw line. Underhand toss to Stewart. Kinsley Stewart started to be contested there by Dunlap, and then Dunlap kind of gave up on the chase. Stewart lays it in. Greensboro's lead is 3. Kinsley's got 16 points. Grulon now pull-up jumper on the baseline. Shot's no good. Loose ball going to the far sideline, and Stewart with it. Long feed up ahead to Ruano. Much like how Methodist snuck in behind Greensboro's defense in transition a couple times in the first half, the Monarchs see it happen to them here as Ruano lays it in for 2, and Greensboro with a 74-69 lead. We're going to keep it here as it's just a 30-second timeout. The Pride now shooting at 40% from the floor. Methodist at 45%. 3 players on each side in double figures. Richardson with 18, Gladden with 13, Grulon with 12. For the Pride, it's Stewart with 16, Hairston with 15, and Ingram with 14. Greensboro has committed 16 turnovers, which have been turned into 18 points for the Monarchs. Methodist has committed 26 turnovers that the Pride have converted into 28 points. Little confusion on a Methodist substitution there. McRae had checked in, and the officials have sent her back to get ready to enter the game. So we will see her in a moment, but right now it's Richardson. Tough shot over a couple defenders. Jada Richardson continues to impress, 74-71. Simpkins slings it to Kinsley Stewart, 3:40 to go. Greensboro's lead is 3. Tatum Bradford on the baseline, goes up, contested shot, that is no good. Into the waiting hands of Jacobs. Jacobs to Dunlap, who crosses the timeline. Dunlap going to her left to Gladden. Gladden trying to split a couple defenders. That shot no good. It's punched out to Ruano. Brianna Ruano crossing the Greensboro logo. Now goes to Kinsley Stewart. Stewart for 3. That one high off the back iron, no good. But soaring for the board is Irvin. Gives it back to Stewart. Stewart for the jumper, no good. Irvin trying for another board. That ball out of bounds. Last touched by Irvin. Hustle points there for Jenks Irvin. 1 offensive board and nearly had a second. But it will be Methodist ball with 3 minutes to play. Grulon inbounds it to Dunlap. Well, if you've joined us here today on the Greensboro College Sports Network, you've seen a good one. Thank you for spending your Monday evening with us. A little unusual to have Monday night basketball here at Haynes Gym, but certainly making the most of it here today with a fun evening. Turnover for the Monarchs. Simpkins with it. She's fouled by Gladden, who will pick up her third personal and team foul number 4. So Greensboro will inbound on the far sideline. It's going to be Kinsley Stewart. Stewart up top to Simpkins. Simpkins with the left hand picks up the dribble up top to Ari Ingram. Ingram now driving right-hand side of the lane, goes up with it, shot's no good. And Richardson on the outlet pass up ahead to Gladden. Corinne Gladden in the lane, tries to go up with it, comes back down with a loose ball. And Stewart now trying to take it away on the far sideline. Gladden maintains possession, tries to give it to Dunlap now on Richardson, and Dunlap gets around Jada, slings that one up. That's no good off the side of the iron, and Ari Ingram with the rebound. A little bit of a hectic offensive possession there for the Monarchs. Greensboro, though, with a good defensive stand. Simpkins called for the travel in the corner. She had picked up her dribble and needed help, harassed there by Richardson. And it's a turnover. Under 120 seconds remain in what is still a one-possession ball game. Could end up with a very similar final score to what we saw in Fayetteville. 80-76 was the final on that ledger. Dunlap using a McRae screen, but Ruano able to get around it. Dunlap pulls up from the free throw line. Shot's no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jenks Irvin. Gladden inbounds, or Grulon rather, to Gladden. Pass down low to McRae, taken away. Here comes Stewart. Kinsley Stewart is blocked by Grulon. Kayleen Grulon, and in very, very impressive defensive effort there for Methodist. A key block to keep it a one-possession game. It's still Greensboro ball. But for the moment, Grulon has kept this where it is. Inbounds to Stewart from the free throw line. Shot's no good. That one goes out of bounds off of Richardson. And it is still Greensboro possession, 90 seconds to play. Well, we knew the Monarchs had a stingy defense coming in today. It's come to play, especially here in the fourth quarter. Kinsley Stewart, left-hand side of the lane. This time able to get around the defense. Kinsley lays it in, 76-71. Here's Grulon trying to work on Simpkins. She lost it on the crossover. Kayleen Grulon trying to cross up Taya Simpkins and just dribbled too far out of her possession. Greensboro's lead is 5. With 1:11 left. Hairston tries to get this one down low to Stewart. 1 minute to play. Here's Irvin, long two. That one's no good. Ingram offensive board. Ari Ingram tries to put it back. Shot's no good. Loose ball still in the lane. Irvin diving for it. Taken by Grulon and finally gives it out to Dunlap. 45 seconds to go. Dunlap inside and now works back out to Grulon up top. Picks up her dribble just shy of the free throw line. Now to Dunlap, passing down low to Richardson, trying to work through a double team. Out to Dunlap, 3 ball. That one's no good off the side iron. Racing for it are 2 Monarchs, but it goes out of bounds. Greensboro ball, 31 seconds left. Another 30-second timeout, so we'll continue to keep it here. But Greensboro and Methodist, you feel the intensity starting to pick up here. The Monarchs, maybe not quite in desperation mode yet, but they know they need to have a couple successful possessions both on offense and defense, with the Pride ahead now by 6 points. Jada Richardson leading the way, a double-double today. 20 points and 12 boards for the Monarchs. She's the game high in both points and rebounds for both sides today. Quick check on the men's game. They have hit halftime. 32-31 is the score. Will Gray continues to lead the way with 10 points. DJ Jackson with 8. Dwight Vincent with 5. 4 from Q Ingram. Gariel Chudgar Benitez with 3. And Jeremiah Howard has 2. Here we go. Back at Haynes Gym. Grulon racing into the front court. Lost the handle for a moment. Now going down low to Jacobs, and Jacobs couldn't hold on to that pass cleanly. Kind of rolled off her shoulders, it looked like. 22 seconds left. Bradford has it intercepted by Grulon. Grulon keeps it in bounds to Jacobs. She lost the handle of it. Bradford tries to save it. Tatum's going to be called for the foul. It is human pinball over here at Haynes Gym. Bradford is going to be called for her first personal foul. And it will send Jacobs to the free throw line, where she hits her first. Jacobs has 5 points tonight. Monarchs are 10 out of 16 from the charity stripe. Second free throw, good. Jacobs makes it a 3-point game, 19 seconds left. Irvin's pass intended for Simpkins, knocked out of bounds by Grulon. 18 seconds remain. Ingram on the inbound looking for Kinsley Stewart. Stewart working up the far sideline. Long feed up ahead to Taya Simpkins. 13 seconds left. Simpkins, right baseline, lays it up and in. Taya Simpkins, a huge bucket with 10 seconds left. Long feed up ahead, tipped by Kinsley Stewart. Grulon, though, with the deflected pass, will now pull up from 3. That's no good, off the front iron, and saved. Inbounds by Irvin as the final seconds bleed off. Greensboro hangs on a wild fourth quarter, and the Pride get it done 78-73. Your final score. Catch your breath. We'll do the same post-game when we come back on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, you know, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, you know, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that like led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. And we welcome you into the Pride postgame show. Greensboro College getting it done today, 78-73. Joined now by Jada Hairston. And Jada, first off, another good, impressive game for you. 15 points today, 4 rebounds, and just kind of walk me through your day today.
I didn't really do much. Did work, class, the usual.
Tell me a little bit about Methodist the first time. Obviously, you guys had a big lead against the Monarchs, and they came back and won. Tell me a little bit about kind of the mindset at the end of this game to say, hey, we've got to make sure we finish today.
I feel like it was too fast-paced, so like we just tried to slow it down because we knew we were up, and just I don't know, just slow it down.
How important is it for you guys right now to pick up a couple of these wins late in the year as you're fighting for your postseason spot?
We're just trying to do the best as we can. The young team, yeah.
Well, Jada, thank you so much. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team.
All right, thank you.
That was Jada Hairston and her thoughts following the game today. And as we get set for what's coming up this week, and that is a busy week of crossover season as softball, both men's and women's lacrosse underway. Well, men's lacrosse actually got started on Friday of last week, or Saturday rather of last week, and baseball will pick up this weekend as well. Greensboro gets it done 78-73. Looking at the men's score there for a moment. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look around the USA South, and we'll wrap things up with final stats. Greensboro gets it done today. Final score 78-73. More on the postgame show next on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Pride Post game continues. Greensboro College with a 78-73 win over Methodist. Time now to take a look at what else is going on around the USA South. Mary Baldwin fell to Brevard earlier today. Final score there 86-48 as the Tornadoes continue their strong season. They are now 12-2. Final score, Warren Wilson scores a non-conference win against Meredith today, 72-64 the final score. They were led by Ori Galloway. We saw that impressive freshman earlier this year, Ori Galloway with 16 points, leading the way for the Owls as 5 Meredith players in double figures, but not enough for the Avenging Angels. Elsewhere, North Carolina Wesleyan at Pfeiffer. That game started at 6 o'clock today. And in the final seconds, it's actually a very impressive contest in terms of a tightly fought battle. 68-67 in favor of the Battling Bishops. Again, 11 seconds to go. And Ava Hairston has just laid one in to cut it to a single point. So Wesleyan with the ball, 11 seconds left there in Meisenheimer. For Greensboro College Athletics, a check at what's going on. Men's basketball, we mentioned a 32-31 lead at the break against William Peace, led by 10 points from Will Gray. Still coming up this week, ODAC Championships, men's and women's swimming this week at the Greensboro Aquatic Center. That begins on Wednesday. And then if you did not see the news on social media earlier today, softball, who had their season opener scheduled for Wednesday rather, against Sweetbriar. That has been postponed, unfortunately, due to field conditions. They're just now starting to get the ice to melt, but even once that happens, the field is just going to be too wet and soggy to be able to get things ready. They are optimistic, I am told, to begin the season on Saturday in the doubleheader on Valentine's Day against Roanoke, but unfortunately the scheduled season opening doubleheader has been postponed to February the 26th. That's Thursday, February 26th. But on the 11th, we will be on the air, a doubleheader for men's and women's basketball. That's beginning at 5 o'clock with women's basketball against NCW and then men's basketball against Mary Baldwin to follow. We'll be on the air for both of those. Pregame show for the women's game beginning at 4:40. Men's pregame show beginning scheduled tentatively for 6:40 or 7 o'clock, whatever. We'll find out, obviously. 2-hour window is currently what's allotted, but we'll see what happens with the conclusion of the women's game. That game will be, pregame show will begin 20 minutes before the tip-off of game number 2. On Thursday the 12th, women's lacrosse gets their season started against D2 Lees McRae at 4 o'clock. We'll have the pregame show for you there at 3:40. And then on Friday, home opener for men's lacrosse. They're 1-0 on the year thanks to a road win at Oglethorpe over the weekend, but they'll get things started at Pride Field, 6 o'clock on Friday. And baseball will begin their season with a noon first pitch against Washington and Lee. We'll be over at McCrary Park in Ashboro for that one. I'll be on the call for that afternoon game. First pitch again scheduled for noon, and the pregame show beginning at 11:40. We'll step aside one final time. When we come back, we'll take a look at the final stats and say goodnight on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
I grew up on the Outer Banks, Manio, North Carolina, so the path to Greensboro College was a little bit of an unbeaten path. The same thing here, like I had never watched a sport, I don't know anything about cars. Taking an opportunity that comes out of nowhere, and it might not be the vision that you had for yourself, but you could make a mark. I think the records were kind of just a byproduct of who I wanted to become as a man.
Back inside. And one final time, we'll take a look at the final stats from today's game. For Methodist, we look at the individual numbers. Richardson leading the way with 20 points, 13 points for Gladden, 12 points for Grulon, 6 points each for Dunlap, Jacobs, Atterbury, and McRae, and 2 points for Coleman and Robbins. Leading assister today was Richardson, or leading a rebounder rather was Richardson, a double-double for her, 12 rebounds to go along with her 20 points. Also in the rebound column, 10 for Eva McRae, 6 of them for Jacobs, 5 each for Grulon and Dunlap, 3 for Gladden, 3 for Atterbury, 2 for Coleman, 1 each for Watford and Robbins. Leading assister today was Dunlap with 5, 2 each for Grulon, Richardson, Gladden, and Robbins, 1 for Coleman, and 1 for Jacobs. Leading player in steals today was Gladden with 5, Grulon with 4, 2 for Dunlap, 1 each for Richardson, Jacobs, Bryant, and Robbins, 3 blocks each for Grulon and Richardson. As a team, Methodist shot 42% from the floor and 16% from 3. That was 2 of 12, including 0 for 4 in the second half. They were 11 of 17 from the free throw line, 10 of 14 in the second half in that category. That was 64%. Comparatively today, Methodist dominated on the boards, 54-39, including 16 offensive boards that they turned into 19 second chance points. Greensboro 12 offensive boards they turned into 7 second chance points. Assists go 15 per side, 30 turnovers for the Monarchs, 19 for the Pride. Bench points go 39-33 in favor of Greensboro. Blocks go 8-6 in favor of Methodist. Fast break points to Greensboro 20-19, as do the steal total of 22 to 15. Points off turnovers go to Greensboro 30-20. Points in the paint to Methodist decisively 46-34. And that is a look at the comparative numbers there. For Greensboro, shooting 37% from the floor, 40% in the second half. They shot 30% from 3. Made 11 threes today. And you look at Greensboro there, that is the 8th time that they have hit on double-digit three-pointers in a game this season. The Pride shot 9 of 17 from the free throw line, just over 52%, as free points from the stripe continues to be a bit of an issue for the Pride. Individually, Greensboro was led by Kinsley Stewart with 18 points today. Jada Hairston with 15, 14 for Ari Ingram, 10 for Taya Simpkins, 6 each for Redmond and Ruano, 4 from Irvin, 3 from Bradford, and 1 each from Carrie Carr and Taya Phelps. Leading rebounder today, Jinx Irvin and Ari Ingram both with 6, 4 for Hairston, 4 for Bradford, 3 for Simpkins, 2 each for Ruano and Stewart, and 1 for Redmond and Carr. Leading assister today, Taya Simpkins with 4, 3 assists for Stewart, 2 each for Irvin and Ruano, 1 for Hairston, Lakey, Bradford, and Phelps. Leader in steals was Kinsley Stewart with 6, 4 each for Irvin and Hairston, 2 for Carr, 2 for Ingram, and 1 for Ruano, Lakey, Bradford, and Phelps. Ingram had 2 blocks today, and 1 block each to Jake Irvin, Brianna Ruano, Jada Hairston, and Tatum Bradford, who returned from injury today. And it all adds up to a 78-73 Greensboro College win as the Pride improved this season to 8-12, and they go to 5-8 in USA South play. So for the Pride, kind of talked about it with Coach Fernandez earlier on today. They said, hey, this was a game you absolutely had to have, and especially looking at how tough some of the upcoming schedule is for Greensboro, Methodist, North Carolina Wesleyan, William Peace, and Brevard coming up. And then you finish the year against Meredith and Salem. So that will wrap everything up here for us today. Your final score one last time. Greensboro wins at 78-73. A big thank you to all of our game day staff, our Director of Sports Information, Stephen Weidenhouse, and my producer today, Kenzie Helton. And we wish her the best of luck as women's lacrosse gets things started here in a couple days. Greensboro wins at 78-73. I'm Kendrick Fruits, wishing you a green and white good night. This has been a presentation of Greensboro College women's basketball on the Greensboro College Sports Network.